Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another episode on LetsTalkAboutUsWithUche. For everyone who's been supporting me, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it from the bottomless part of my heart. Again, if you're new to my podcast, please make sure to download, subscribe, share with your friends and family. If you're new to my YouTube channel, please make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and please hit that bell notification so anytime I upload a video, you'll be the very first to be notified. So I've sort of been in my feelings for the past few days. And last night I really was deep in my feelings, and I wanted to kind of address certain things. I know one of the previous episodes that I made, I was talking about, Nigerians and talking about how prayer is not the key. I still stand by that, but I kind of wanted to address certain things on that episode. The point of that episode is not to bash religious people or Christians or Muslims, whatever it is that, whatever religious practice that, you follow. Like I mentioned in that episode, I really don't care. I don't care what religious practice you follow or don't follow. Prayer, there's nothing wrong with prayer. Me personally, I do pray. I pray almost every day. You know what I mean? But the issue is not prayer. The issue for me is the fact that a lot of Nigerians are just overly religious. There's nothing wrong with religion. And if you've been following my episode, my podcast, I've mentioned that multiple times. There's absolutely nothing wrong with religion at all. I'm not religious. I don't practice religion. I don't consider myself Christian. And I understand to a lot of Africans, specifically Nigerians, that sounds very taboo. I just genuinely don't give a shit. I'm not religious at all. I was born and raised in a religious family. But as I got older, I started questioning my faith, and a whole bunch of things happened, and I started looking at the bigger picture. That's where I was able to embrace spirituality, which is very different from religion. And I'm going to be talking about what spirituality is and what it's not, because I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to spirituality. But going back to people who are religious, I don't have any issues whatsoever regarding religion at all. If you're religious, there's no problem with that. But the over religiousness, that's a problem. That's very problematic. And I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna give a quick reason why being overly religious is problematic. In addition to the fact that anything being too much is a problem, being overly religious in Nigeria is a deflection mechanism. And that is very detrimental to us as Nigerians in general. There's a lot of issues in Nigeria. There's a lot of issues in the world, and there's a lot of issues with the black community, the black race, but specifically in Africa, there's a lot of issues that we have. There's so much going on. If you don't know that there's a lot of shit going on, you are part of a problem, and only a matter of time you will start feeling these problems. If you don't know what's going on with the whole recolonization of Africa, you know what I mean, by the Chinese, if you don't know, you might want to wake up, because let's keep it real. Whatever child that you have in Africa, specifically in Nigeria right now, whatever child you're having in Nigeria right now, you are literally having a Chinese slave. I'm going to be talking about that in depth in subsequent episodes on how modern day colonization or recolonization of Africa is happening right now, and the Chinese are in the front of this wave, if you want to call it that. But I'm going to be talking about that in depth in subsequent episodes. But seriously, prayer or being overly religious is a deflection mechanism. It deflects from the actual problem. There's nothing wrong with being religious. There's nothing wrong with referencing God. There's nothing wrong with referencing Jesus if you believe in Jesus, or Muhammad or Allah, whatever the hell you believe in. There's nothing wrong with referencing that. But the fact that this is a default mechanism, a default behavior for a lot of Nigerians, for a lot of Africans, that is problematic, because that prevents you from holding yourself accountable. That prevents you from looking at things from a totally different perspective. That deflects from you seeing what's in front of you for what it really is. If there's a problem in front of you, you look at it for what it really is. Look at it from totally different perspectives so you can understand it and possibly even hold yourself accountable for how you've contributed to that problem. And that is the issue I have with being overly religious. A perfect example, I remember a few years ago, one of my uncles, he was driving his sister-in-law and a few other people in the car, and there was a car accident. Happened while he was driving. Now, my uncle, he's younger. And instead of this man to hold himself accountable for how he possibly contributed to this accident, he blamed it on his sister-in-law and basically accused her of using witchcraft or whatnot, because he drives so perfectly normal. He's been driving, all his life basically, and then all of a sudden this woman gets in his car and then he crashed it. Again, going back to the whole overly religious thing, he was deflecting from the issue in front of him. Perhaps it was you. You felt nervous that you have all these people in the car. You're not used to driving these people in the car, and then all of a sudden you have these people in the car, and you felt nervous, and you were thinking a little bit too hard. You were thinking a little bit too much, and you were not able to focus at the task at hand, and maybe you swerved too hard, or maybe you got a little bit too overwhelmed by the people that are in the car. Again, prayer is not the problem. Religion is not the problem. Those are not the problem. But when you're using these things as deflection, you're not looking at the issue at hand. You're not looking at the task at hand and looking for more pragmatic ways of solving it. Look at things for what they really are, and let your emotions get the best of you so that you can look at what it is in front of you and try to find solutions, more pragmatic, realistic solutions, as opposed to deflecting in the name of God. Because if we keep deflecting, there's nobody going to come down here to save us. There's absolutely nobody. The white race has no interest to do that. The Chinese have no interest. I'm telling you, most of the world sees us as stupid people who are very dumb, very inept, very backward thinking, and they're capitalizing on that. The Chinese is not our friend. I understand that the Chinese government is throwing in a lot of money in Africa right now, building all these airports and these railroads and all that flashy ass shit. At the end of the day, these people, they're capitalizing on our ignorance, and we're signing away our lives, literally signing away our lives to these people. So it is very important that we wake the hell up from this shit. In spite of the fact that I have my own issues, my own reserves, towards Nigerians, I feel some type of way with the whole general Nigerian mentality. It pisses me off. But once in a while, I do meet some Nigerians, especially young Nigerians, who are eager for change, who really genuinely want change. It's so interesting. Once in a while, you meet a young Nigerian who, is being honest with you and just pouring out their heart, basically sharing with you their hunger for change. They really do want change. You can see it in their soul that they really do want something different. But then the opportunities to steer things to the positive direction are just almost not there. There's so many hungry Nigerians, and I don't mean literally hungry, even literally hungry, but I'm talking about people who are hungry for change, who want something different for themselves, for their children, for their generations, what I'm saying? But there's not a whole lot of opportunities to change things. And this is why I made that episode talking about we need to start holding people accountable. We really need to start holding people accountable. The idiots, the clowns, the idiots that perpetrate our problems. Look at these politicians, man. I just saw a video of one of the senators, or maybe ex-senators of Nigeria, flaunting his Gucci bag, his this and that. I'm gonna try to find the video and attach it. Just look at this clown. This clown has the nerve to flaunt all this shit on the internet after he's embezzled so much money that could go into your development. And that's not even the sad part. I feel like the more sad part is when I go through this man's Instagram page, I see a lot of Nigerians praising him, saying that they want to look up to him. They're looking up to him. They want to be like him. This is just disgusting. These are the people who bring you down, who shit on you, who take your money that could go into your development, money that could change the trajectory of your generation forever. They're hoarding all that money, all that opportunity that can change your life forever. And you're there stroking their ego. No. We need to start holding these people accountable. We need to start challenging them to take responsibility for their actions. We need to start challenging them to take responsibility for the positions that they've been appointed. Look at these. Nigeria has some of the most intelligent people on the planet, some of the most educated people. Go to some of the top universities on the planet. Nigerians are winning everywhere. And it's such an insult that in spite of all this education, these accolades, these advancements, we have these clowns, these old ass, dumb ass clowns as our presidents and our senators and our commission. Did you know that Nigerian senators are the highest paid in the world? Nigerian senators are the highest paid in the world, higher paid than senators in America, in the UK. Can you imagine? And the cost of living in America and the UK are much higher than the cost of living in Nigeria. Can you imagine being paid higher in Nigeria than somebody in America? yet there's no development whatsoever. This is very, very disgusting. This is very disturbing. Yes, I live in America, and I have the benefits of living in America as an American citizen and all that great stuff. Trust me, I get it. But at the end of the day, I can't help but thinking that these are my people. You know, I know people that I went to school with back in Nigeria, and when I look at their lives, it just hurts my soul. It just irks me so much seeing where these people are. A lot of times, these people have nothing going for them. A lot of them have to lie and pretend that they have something going for them. But when they're being humble and they're being honest and direct to you, they will let you know that, yo, bro, absolutely nothing going on. It's like stagnant water. I'm not moving forward. I'm not moving backward. And the sad thing is that some of these people are some of the smartest people back in Nigeria. They had, you know, straight A's or first positions. They had some of the highest grades out there. These are some of the people that were way more relevant than I was back in Nigeria, back when I went to school back in Nigeria. And the fact that the system is so effed up, these people are not growing at all. They're just stagnant, completely stagnant. And this is why we need to start, you know, even though there's nothing wrong with prayer, pray, yes, but then pragmatism, bro. Hold these people accountable. Stop stroking their egos. Every time I go to some of these politicians' pages and, you know, some of these criminals' pages, you see all these people praising them and stroking their ego and, you know, giving them their endowments and blessings and all that stupid ass shit. No, you need to start challenging them. Curse them out. Show them a mirror so that they know what they're doing to you. This is what these people are doing to you. Look at this. You know, we're in the middle of a COVID pandemic, and instead of the president and his household fixing the country's dilemma, his wife, President Buhari's wife, gets on a plane. She gets on a plane and flies to Dubai, lying to the people, you know, that she went for a checkup for neck pain. But all the while she's shopping for her daughter's wedding. You know, there's nothing wrong with, you know, shopping for your daughter's wedding. There's nothing wrong with that. Even the fact that she lied about a neck pain checkup, it's still insulting. So you mean to tell me that in the entire country of Nigeria, in the entire continent of Africa, you couldn't find any hospital that you can go for a checkup for a neck pain, that you have to go all the way to a totally different continent? That is disgusting. That is disturbing. That is just laughable. That's sad. That is just beyond sad. And all the while you're going shopping, in spite of the fact that Nigerians are suffering right now. A lot of people are dying from hunger. Not even the pandemic. A lot of people are suffering and dying, you know, in much worse situations that they were prior to, you know. And these people prior to the COVID, they were actually barely making ends meet, and now things are much worse. And the least that you could do is go shopping in Dubai in preparation for your daughter's wedding. This is just insulting. And you have some of these Nigerians who are praising her, you know, want to be like her. You know, what kind of stupid ass shit is this? This is why I said, please hold these people accountable. Please hold these clowns accountable. Please hold them accountable and challenge them, and stop deflecting in the name of God. You know, all this, yeah, Nigeria's jaga, you know, but we, you know, we believe in God. We believe in God. There's no God coming down from heaven to save you. There is no Jesus coming down from heaven to save you. You need to do the work yourself. You need to challenge people. You need to challenge people. Channel your anger and frustration towards the idiots that keep perpetuating your demise, that keep perpetuating your problems. Start challenging these people and stop deflecting in the name of God, in the name of religion. Challenge them. I did find this video that went viral. I just found it a few days ago, and I'm gonna just drop the video here, you know, because I feel like I've spoken enough. I'm gonna be talking about this later on, but I'm gonna just drop the video. If you're listening to my podcast, you might want to tune into my YouTube video to listen to the message. This man is speaking some wisdom to Africans in general, so please pay attention to this message.
No matter how much water I pour into this bucket, no matter how long I wait, it will never get full. Why? The water is leaking on arrival. African nations are like this bucket. Africa has leaks of corruption. And so it does not matter how much tax we collect from the citizen. It does not matter how much donation we get from the developed countries. It does not matter how much we borrow. So long as the leaks of corruption are still there, the visions we have for our country will still remain a mirage. Why? The money is leaking out on arrival. I pity the hoi polloi that is the simple citizen. Imagine the tax you are paying is leaking out into the hands of few merciless devourers who are using the public funds to galvanize themselves against poverty. Who will help us block these leaks of corruption? Do you think one person can single-handedly block these leaks? I believe it has to be an orchestra of the leaders and the citizens who have vowed to slay this monster called corruption. We see the corruption leaks everywhere. At our workplace we see them. In our business premises we see them. But what are we doing about it? Because if we continue this way, we are passing this into generations and the generations to come. It all starts with what each and every one of us is doing on a daily basis.
Anyway, this is the end of today's episode. To reiterate, I'm not anti-religion. I'm not anti-Christian. I've been called all kinds of names. I've been called the Antichrist and all that because I don't go to church, or, I don't consider myself Christian. I understand that. I get it. Prayer is not the problem. I don't have problems with prayer. I pray all the time. I pray almost every day. I'm a prayerful person, if that even makes sense. But too much of everything is not good. Being over religious is not good, because I believe that's a deflection mechanism that deflects from the actual problem at hand. You learn to look at things and see it for what they really are. Call it for what it is. Call a spade a spade. And when you see things for what they really are, as opposed to deflecting and pretending that it's not as bad, you're able to hold people accountable and challenge them to take responsibility for their actions. Once again, thank you very much for your support. If you're new to my podcast, make sure to download, subscribe, share with your friends and family. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, please make sure to like, comment, share your thoughts and opinions down there. Share with your friends and family, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so anytime I upload a video, you'll be the very first to be notified. Thank you very much for your support. Bye-bye.